Hello everybody, Flamin' Shark, back with another video. Today giving you guys another blind commentary, blind reaction to the RWBY World of Remnant on the Great War. I did not do a reaction to the last one, which was on the Dust Company, because I just didn't feel like going through the hassle, but this was a really good one, apparently, according to some folks. Maybe even the best one, and actually seeing the title and the length, 7 minutes, 20 seconds, and it's on the Great War. All of that makes me curious enough to where I don't want to just make a review. I do want to make a reaction to this. So, decide, okay, let's do a reaction. Let's see what we got. Really excited for this. I think it's going to be fantastic. I really am looking forward to hear about it. We know that it was Vacuo and Vale against Atlas and Mistral, which makes a lot of sense. Given what we know about the Four Kingdoms, if I had to guess 2v2, I would guess that. Given Atlas and, you know, Mistral, it just makes sense, you know, because Atlas and Vacuo 100% would be against each other, and then it's a matter of, do you think, and then, you know, Atlas and Vale obviously have tension still, so you could kind of put the pieces together. So yeah, that's cool shit. So I'm actually really looking forward to the World of Remnant on the Great War. I want to know more about it. I want to have some history. Hopefully we get some insight. I'm curious because why are we learning about this? Every World of Remnant, other than really the Four Kingdoms one, but even that one was relevant. That one was more relevant to the whole volume, or just in general the story, going into the second part of RWBY. But all the ones that have been during the season, this season, and really last season too, but this season as well, had almost direct, almost immediate, but always direct correlation to what's going on in the volume. Except for Huntsman. Huntsman never really had that in Volume 3, but all the others in Volume 3, and certainly all of them in Volume 4, have been that way, whether it be on the SDC or whatever. They've all been very directly relevant to what's going on. Faunus, that one was very relevant. Even though, I guess, I think it was, but potatoes. I don't know. It feels like an interesting place to be getting this history lesson, the same part of Volume 3 where we got the Maiden story. So, I don't know. I don't see how this could relate directly to the final 3 episodes, but I'm really very much willing to listen. And I'm curious if Crow is just going to be chilling just like normal, or if he's actually going to be like, fuck, I'm fucked up, you know, I'm kind of hallucinating right now, and, you know, I'm kind of dying in the show just a little bit, you know, like, I'll probably live, but I might die, but, you know, I'm dying at the very least, and, yeah, this is gonna be rough. It would be so funny if he tells the whole thing hallucinating and, like, in, like, his death, on his death, his proverbial deathbed, even though I don't think he's gonna die, but he might. That would be hilarious. Anyways, RWBY Volume 4 World of Remnant on the Great War will commence in 3, 2, 1, and play. RWBY World of Remnant. What a shocker. Let's see. The Great War. What do you got to say, Crow?
The Great War. What a terrible name for such a horrible time in history.
That's Crow, but he sounds weird.
Though the war itself lasted around 10 years.
That is Crow,
right?
The
century leading up to it was filled with so much tension, you might as well lump them together.
Yeah.
And most of that tension was coming from Mistral.
Fair enough.
Territories rich with resources and safe from Grimm have always been in high demand.
Yeah.
But the Emperor of Mistral had managed to conquer nearly all that Anima had to offer.
Damn.
Thanks in part to an unlikely friend, Mantle. The two kingdoms had formed an alliance. Mistral provided the small kingdom with goods unavailable in the frozen tundra. In return, Mantle introduced technological innovation as well as guidance in the settlement of Anima's cold, northern territory.
Makes a lot of sense.
It was good, until it wasn't.
There's the Grimm.
An incident in Mantle led to a strange and unexpected decree. The abolishment of the arts and repression of self-expression. The people of Anima had come to believe that they would be much safer from the Grimm if they could simply keep the emotions of the masses in check.
Ooh, that's
Given
controversial.
Mistral's strong, artistic culture, many assumed this would be the end of their alliance. But they were wrong. Mistral complied, selectively, enforcing Mantle's wishes only in the outer territories, allowing the centralized powers to continue to live as they pleased.
Oh shit, that's really...
If you haven't caught on yet,
potato?
Mistral's full of jerks.
Yeah, pretty much.
The people of Vale had a problem with this. Well,
yeah.
They had a problem with a lot of things Mistral and Mantle had been up to.
Yep.
Treatment of their citizens, use of slave labor, and their constant insistence that their way of life was what was best for everyone. Eventually, Mistral made the jump across the sea to the eastern coast of Samus.
Yeah.
The small islands and peninsulas in the area were perfect to establish a settlement. They were so perfect, in fact, that Vale had just begun settling the area themselves.
And that's how war
I
started.
think we can all guess what happened next.
Death and carnage.
The King of Vale did everything he could to avoid armed conflict. Despite cries from his people, he insisted on sharing the land with the settlers from Mistral. But to this day, no one knows who shot first.
It's one of those,
What began as a riot between the two bands of settlers had suddenly become the first battle of the Great War.
Fair enough.
Mantle quickly came to Mistral's side. Battles were fought on both Sanus and Anima soil. Villages were lost to both combat and Grim. And it wasn't long before Vacuo decided to join the party. Up to this point, Vacuo had done its best to stay out of the fight. Mantle and Mistral, having both already established a small presence in Vacuo territory years before, promised to leave them provided they didn't interfere. Soon, those talks evolved. It went from don't side with them to side with us and you'll be safe.
Yep.
Vacuo did not much care for that. They came to the conclusion that if Vale were to fall, there'd be no one left to stop Mistral and Mantle from conquering.
Makes a lot of sense. Yep.
So they did what they considered to be the logical thing.
And side with Vale.
They drove Mantle and Mistral out of Vacuo and told Vale they had their backs.
That makes sense.
I love their style.
Yeah, of course you do.
So the war raged on. Grim attacks increased worldwide. On the battlefield, this meant a temporary ceasefire in order to deal with the hordes of monsters before returning to the fight at hand.
Makes sense.
Those left miserable back at home, however, were often helpless with their best warriors away fighting the good fight.
Yeah, makes sense too.
Were lost during these years, and
holy
most
shit.
never reclaimed.
Nice to get the details, even though you could kind of guess how this went.
Put into effect. Development of technology accelerated. Humans and faunas who fought alongside one another became closer. And every day, mankind grew more and more efficient at destroying itself.
Yep.
But it all ended in the Vacuo campaign.
Oh. This is
Mistral
new.
and Mantle knew that if they could take the dust mines of Vacuo, they would effectively cut off the supply of dust to their enemy. It was to be a final devastating blow to Vale and Vacuo. They were only half right. The King of Vale personally led his army into battle alongside the soldiers of Vacuo and decimated the enemy forces.
Jesus.
Crown atop
so it was
his
a
head,
trap, basically.
Only with a sword and his scepter. He laid waste to countless men.
Jesus. Sounded like a badass.
Red with blood.
Jesus
the Grim
Christ.
came in droves. It was the single deadliest battle of the war. And legends of the greatness and terror of the warrior king were born that day. Historians
Making a lot
will
of this
tell you
king.
most of these stories are nothing but
Vale
grandiose hyperbole. Unusually violent weather conditions, combined with Mantle's unfamiliarity with the desert combat, are likely what led to such a high death count.
Yeah.
But whatever the reasoning, everyone bowed to the King of Vale by the time it was over. The Great War had ended.
Wow.
The world was ready to live under the rule of Vale. But the king refused. The leaders of the four kingdoms met on the island of Vital.
I wonder if
And
that
it
was
there that
the
they worked together
the
to
wizard.
form a treaty and establish the future.
The Veil King was the wizard. Not the original wizard, you know what I mean. The one, at least the one before
Slavery was
Ozpin.
abolished,
Yeah.
governments restructured, and the warrior king, the last king Veil would ever have, founded the Huntsman Academies and placed his most trusted followers.
So he is Ozpin's predecessor.
School.
Yep.
He would teach the world to fight so long as we promised to fight for ourselves and never against ourselves. Seems like we haven't kept our end of the bargain.
Damn. That was fantastic, guys. I'm gonna cut it off right there. That was... I definitely get why you guys love that so much as a World of Remnant. I don't know if I'd consider that better than the World of Remnant on the Four Maidens, but it's top 2. That was fantastic. It probably is, though. I'd have to really think about it. That was fantastic. I really do think... Man, that was really good. Like, that was a lot of potatoes I wasn't really expecting, and I don't know, I just enjoyed the crap out of it. It was so much fun learning more about the Great War, and to learn a little bit about the 4 kind of rulers, especially, they really only focused on the Emperor of Mistral and the King of Vale, but they showed the 4 of them in the World of Remnant design, of course. The King of Vale... Very interesting character, and it's interesting to note that the King of Vale was clearly the wizard before Ozpin, Ozpin's predecessor. So yeah, that is the second removed of the wizard heritage. You have the Vale King, who came before Ozpin, who came before Oscar. So that makes a lot of sense. And it's really interesting that when did Crow say when Ozpin's predecessor found the schools? That was Volume 3, Chapter 8. So he directly said to Team Ranger that Ozpin's predecessor founded the schools, when history would tell you that the person who founded the Huntsman's Academy was the King of Vale. So it's interesting that none of them actually put that together. Maybe not RWBY, Jean, nor not even Ren put that together, I guess, or didn't really comment on that. So that's kind of interesting. But it's really interesting. We learned a lot in this, and it's nice to finally have more or less the full story about the war, and to get a better idea of what it was about. We pretty much know as much as we're probably going to get, more or less. But it's curious that they tell us about that now, because I'm trying to think where in the story. We have 3 episodes left in the volume, and a lot of craziness is going on, but Blake's story has nothing to do with the war. Weiss's story has nothing to do with the war. Yang's story doesn't really have much to do with anything, but I don't see it and then, RWBY and John and Crow... I just don't see how this relate. This is a weird spot. If this would have made a lot of sense as a before the volume type story, but in its placement as the last World of Remnant of the volume, it's really weird. I don't know what to think of it, and I don't know. I'm honestly quite curious because of it. So, I guess there is some good to come of it. Anyways, this was a fun-ass time. I really enjoyed it. Really glad I did a reaction to it. It's a little bit of a hassle. It doesn't come out great, because, I have to cap it off the Rooster Teeth website, and because, unfortunately, I really wish they posted these on YouTube. I wouldn't even mind doing the wait and doing them on Saturday or something, just because, if they put, I really don't like how it's an exclusive to the Rooster Teeth website. That kind of sucks, personally, because, the Rooster Teeth website is just, if their player was, better, it'd be cool, but their player is not good. No offense, guys. I really wish you had a better player on your website. That's, my only thing I don't like about Rooster Teeth. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It was a cool episode of World of Remnant. We learned a lot, and yeah, we most importantly, I suppose, learned that the King of Vale. Oh, duh, Oscar, duh. This is gonna probably relate to Oscar, who might be in the next episode, maybe. Duh, of course it's gonna relate to Oscar. What am I even thinking? Maybe Salem too, but probably Oscar, just Oscar. Oh yeah, Oscar, because of Oz. Yeah, of course. Okay. So, yeah, the King of Vale was Ozpin's predecessor who founded the schools and, was protecting the relics and did all that crazy stuff, so that's awesome. But anyways, Flamin' Shark signing out. Hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastical day, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.